Good day, mate. Here we are, the professional amateur, driving eastbound into Houston on a nice rainy day. Nothing out of the ordinary about that. You're listening to bug music. No AI on YouTube. If anybody wants to listen along in the VOD, the audio has been separated, so press play on this video and then go to YouTube in another tab and press play on bug music. No AI. Speed limit. This is cute. You got me wiggling in my seat here, this music. I'm a bug. Markiplier. Rambo. I've never listened to this before. And it's always nice to listen to something new.
_boiled_. Apologies, dude. I think I can't come to the stream because it's night here. I have school tomorrow, thought. Free Street Sunday.
That's
Sorry.
cool.
I hope you can stream at Sunday. Bye, Fox friend. Click to reply to at the _boiled_.
We'll see, Boiled. You take care. Have good sleep. Have good school. Thank you, though, for checking in. It's always nice to hear from you. Wonder if I could turn this down a bit and then this up a bit.
The _boiled_.
There we go.
All right, bro. I hope a viewer comes in to chat with you. Click to reply to at the _boiled_.
Much appreciated. I got my voice reader going through a headphone jack rather than straight through the truck speakers. And why did I do that? I had an extra jack available, an extra port. And I'm like, why don't I send this through there? Oh, I did it so that I could listen to the music through the truck speakers because I couldn't do it if the voiceover was going through the truck speakers. I'm amazed it's working. I can't have the iPad plugged in because the charging noise creates a distortion. It's a weird stereo percussion sound. It almost reminds me of Pogo. Oof, sure is humid. It's nice to have an air conditioner that'll dry out the air. tend to isolate myself here in the semi so much. If I ever open the window, like to talk to somebody at shipping, instant climate difference. And it's like, oh man, Red, you should open the window more often. Let some natural air in every once in a while. Not all the time, but every once in a while. Also reminds me a little bit of Chochel or Botanicula, DVA. Chuchel, just on the slightly, I'll say it, the slightly irritating side of weird, but engaging enough. So nice to find a playlist where they say no AI was used. It was actually a conglomeration, collection of music composed for probably video games by a bunch of Japanese composers. Dude, you accidentally on YouTube click on the wrong thing, like a bunch of I don't know. I clicked on techno, and then suddenly I'm inundated. Everything in the algorithm, all the suggestions are all these AI created things. And I also clicked on a Vivaldi techno, and it was just too perfect. You could tell it was all quantized and perfectly pitched. And I'm like, there's the minor little errors in performance or intonation or timing. It's like, this is computer music. Listen to me complain about computer music while we're listening to this. All quantized. Mm. Wow. Bugs are weird. This could almost pass as like Martian music too. Man, is any of that from like Terraria? Organ beep bops, beep bop boop. No, beep beep boop. Hmm. Oh, that's fun. So in the semi here, you've got the front controls for temperature, air conditioner, heater, but also in the back, there's a separate controls for the bunk for the sleeper. And if you happen to have turned up the temperature in the back and you're trying to turn the temperature up in the front, and you're like, how come it's still hot? Good thing I've got a button up here to control that from the back to the back. Preposition from to. This is kind of weird. Yeah. A chill jam through Houston. I never fully delved into like the Animal Crossing soundtracks. There's more than one apparently. There's more than one Animal Crossing. I wonder if there's an Animal Crossing song in this list. I'll never know unless I stop the truck and look. And we're not going to stop this truck. Never. This is just going to go on forever. Why is it so warm? Texas. Welcome to Texas. I lost my head yesterday when I stopped, and I went down into my previous videos and grabbed the uh, repertoire album from back at the end of March. And I actually clipped it in a highlight, put it in a collection, and made it very prominent on my Twitch page. I do not have, except for the Back to the Future piece, I don't have any cover licenses for any of those. And my goal was this last winter, good grief, why is it hot? Look behind me to see if my ass is on fire. This last winter, the goal was not to just record my repertoire, all learned by ear, but also get to music distributors. I can speak yet. Music distributors and pay for not only the cover licenses, but for hosting on like Amazon Music, YouTube Music, Spotify. But all money and time just ran out at the end of March. And I was only able to get to the Back to the Future piece on. Well, it's such a passion project. This 2025 repertoire album called Music from the Space of Hearts. And there's so many things wrong with it. One, I don't have the cover licenses. Two, I have it set to my own video. So it's like mechanical license. Hello, that's a whole nother problem.
View S Latin letter small capital TRB. Click to reply to and
That was a little hard to understand with my voice over text to speech turned on. You have to make sure that you spell correctly and use punctuation. Otherwise, it's not going to make very much sense to me. Left next time. Does this exit? Does this lane end? My intentions are to do everything musical correctly, within the quote unquote law, legal. But it takes money to be a musician. You have to pay to be a musician, man. Doesn't cost as much to pay to be an airline pilot. That is tens of thousands, or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars if you want to be an airline pilot. To be a musician and perform cover music, which is kind of my specialty, that's a few $100s. Red, you didn't even have a few $100s? Nope. My first month out here on over the road trucking, I only had $10 in my account. I'm driving across the country several times with only $10 in my personal account. Wait, 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 wait. It's funny. You remember the episode, the level on Star Fox, the original SNES, where you're flying over the garden planet and all these. This is kind of making me think of that. You're listening to Bug Music. No AI from YouTube. Hmm. Slowing down. For the record, foxes don't mind hanging out with bugs. Nice EP, electric piano. Nice Bumblebee Chevrolet over there on the left. Now, this reminds me a little bit of Nausicaa, the bug forest. Man, all you need is just a few clips of lines from any random classical Disney movie, and you'd have Pogo. I am running away, and I am not coming back. I am running away, and I am not coming back. Hmm. How about like this? Try that. Look at us. We're like bugs crawling across the surface of the earth. Is this Coruscant? Where? Coruscant, you know. Don't look at me like that. You know damn well Coruscant. Can you imagine somebody looking at this traffic, knowing that I have to drive a semi through all this through downtown any state, any city, and be able to just say, I'm just taking it easy here, man. When you listen to Neanners talk about driving cars and even Saikuno, and they all really tend to have this avoidance about driving cars. And then here I am. I'm like, I live here. It's wild. I'm not saying that I want to do this. I'd rather be home with my piano. But as far as like an alternative, make ends meet sort of arrangement. I've been driving my whole life. I've been a fast food delivery guy since Futurama, redhead with a red sweater. Now I'm a old grown redhead driving a semi, and I'm like, all right, I'm a delivery boy. Get that thing away from me. Your employment chip is ready. Uh, I'm not employable. I'm a musician. You don't tell me. I'm telling you. I just want to sing. I'm not a singer, I'm a player. What's good is it's like 11 o'clock here in Houston. So, uh, if you can consider this light traffic, this is just easy, easy listening bug music traffic. Oh, that's a weird way to describe it, but no worries, mate. I wonder if any of these songs were written by Tim Fallon. Gonna have a little bit of some slick roads here. Wee woo, wee woo. The bridges are the hardest part, these overpasses for my Starlink satellite internet. The city areas always seem to be harder than the outer country areas. And I wonder if even just the signs, the overhead signs cause that much of a disruption. What is this low clearance overhead? What are you talking about? That says 16.9. That's not low clearance. I want to get in the other lane, please. Hmm. Stuck a dong, dude. Had all day to ignore me. And another one. I want one more lane. It's weird how you can be in the next to left lane, and then next thing you know, you're all the way over to the right exit lane. I don't know who designs these things so that the left lane doesn't stay the left lane. They don't have like a self correcting thing when a lane merges. You know, I think I can see my buffer working. I've got a nice big, let's see, the kilobyte setting is 6,000 kilobytes. That's my quality setting. 2 keyframes. My buffer, I doubled that to 12,000 kilobytes. I didn't really see any improvement to go from 12 to 18. But I believe when I go under one of these larger overpasses, the uploads tends to spike way up at like 14 megabytes. Of course, I'm watching the road, but I also I've got 2 windows on my iPad. I've got the GPS right there, and then I've got a split view for the Starlink app, and it's over on 1/4 of the screen, and it's showing the throughput. And it amuses. Wow, look at the city off to the right. Top of the skyscrapers poking into the lower clouds. Man, why are bugs so happy? It is like no brain happy bug. We're listening to bug music from YouTube. No AI. Check it out. Mm-hmm. What does that look like? Mm-hmm. Happy to say that I've never had a jackknife. There there was one time coming down I-70 over Vale Pass in winter that I could tell something was starting to happen. Felt my ass come out from behind me just a little bit, and I was on snow, of course. The only other times I jackknifed, I was doing it on purpose. 14.3, I can get under that. What? Look at the view. If we could only get good 6,000 megabytes. All right, so we got this. I want, personally, I want this. And man, this is Graveyard Girls territory. What the? Uh-huh. Okay. I think my GPS likes to overcomplicate things. Not necessarily the most intelligent learning thing. It's like, oh, you usually like to go this way? Well, I'll work with you on that. If they heard this music back in like the Victorian age, do you think that they would consider it music? Look, it's got a beat and you can dance to it, sort of. Oh man, that weird whistle has given this such a different feel. It's got like a wee woo X Files feel to it. Is that actual acoustic guitar? Got all the fret noises. Who is that? Who's that singing? Wow. I think I'm going to have to turn my subwoofer down. Unfortunately, there's like dust in the volume knob, so it doesn't just want to turn down. It like shorts out. Some weird dog food smell. We must have just gone past like a Purina factory. I didn't even notice. I noticed with my nose. The nose knows. That would probably be my favorite song so far. That was cool. The radar was saying that there was a little bit of heavy rain headed our direction, but not an awful lot. I would consider this an enjoyable amount of rain. Now I smell restaurant food. What time is it? Yeah, it's after 11. It's about restaurant time. More plywood on the highway. That's a weird thing to find in Houston. There's always plywood on the ground. Buckle up, Buttercup. Seatbelts are a free hug. The only hug you're gonna get. Hmm. Now I smell industrial smell. Rubber or something. Okay, I gotta go over this way. I gotta go over this way. Anybody over there? I'm coming over. Uninvited. What ASMR whispering are you doing in my ear? Hmm. I'll go this way. No, I don't want to go this way. I want to go this way. This offbeat chord reminds me of They Might Be Giants. Something from like Dewey on Malcolm in the Middle. It's like a Dewey song. Easy. Whoa. American oil. Trying to figure out what they had in these big pods on the left. Oh boy, a bridge. We get to see some water. I mean, like river water, not the sky kind of water. Wow, some serious railroad yards for oil tanks. Oh boy, we're gonna go up and up. Oh, they got that side of the bridge closed. Don't stop, don't stand. Don't stop, don't stand. Don't poop, don't piss. Oh my God, I said it. No stopping, no standing, no pooping, no pissing. Good grief. What a job. This construction that they're building. Whew. That is intense. You go like this. Well, that's a left turn. No, that's a right turn. I will do that. And that's the way I will do. You'll just go like that. And that's exactly how I envisioned it. I looked at the route ahead of time. I know the signs. I've seen the signs. I know the way. Red, you've never been. No, but that's what maps are for. A flood watch? Low areas may flood. Oh no. All right. This is where I'm going to leave you. You got to get out of the truck. I got to go do my job. I'll pick you up later sometime today, I believe. When we make our way out, we got to get out of Houston later today. I hope you're okay with that. Can I? I think I should. This way? Yeah. All right. Stay next to your phone. I'll give you a call when I'm available. Ooh, lightning.